Well, I'm doing brake adjustments this morning. I determined how to align my rear caliper the right way. I got to take some spacers I have in there out and slide the caliper over because it's too close to the pad. The disc is too close to the pad on the what would be the right side of the caliper, depending what way you're facing the bike. The caliper that's furthest away, the part of the caliper that's furthest away from the hub, not the inside pad, but the outside pad. So, I was just looking at it and realized if I remove these two spacers, I could, and then adjust a couple other bolts, it should fix the problem. Because it looks like the inside pad has hardly even been touched since I put the new wheel on, and the disc is pretty much hitting the metal on the outside of the caliper. So first I'm going to put the caliper back on, and then I'm going to adjust the other two bolts, and I'm going to have to slide it back a little bit. I don't know how this alignment got all messed up like this, just changing a wheel out, but it did. Okay, that's weird. Did I not get that in there straight? That seems to have remedied the problem a little bit. It is kind of hitting the inside. Actually, I think it's over as far as it goes. Weird. It's hitting the inside pad a little bit. There's room to work with the outside thing here, though. So I'm gonna probably just leave it like it is. Let it rub on the inside pad a little bit. It'll just wear down to where I want it, so I don't have to take the whole freaking wheel off and to adjust the bolt back here. Again, that's one problem with hub motors is it's hard to adjust the mechanical disc brakes, so you have to take the wheel off to do it. But yeah, it's fine like this, I guess. So if you're ever thinking about getting mechanical disc brakes for an e-bike or just a regular bike because you can't afford hydraulics, these Tektro mechanical disc brakes are really good. Like I said, I'm freaking huge. My bike weighs 100 pounds. It's about, between me and the bike, it's like 550 pounds. So, and it stops me, even going downhill. So, between both brakes, if I squeeze both brakes, I don't slide, I just stop. So, highly recommend these Tektro brakes. Don't, if you're going to get mechanicals, don't cheap out on a not very well-known brand. I mean, Bucklos might be good, but I would say to stick with Tektros. that's one brake done. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be. I'm totally happy that was so easy. No yelling and cussing so far. Okay, now I gotta... See, I would move all my little bits and pieces over, but I found the easier thing to do is just to pick the bike up and move it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I should maybe check for some broken spokes while I'm at it, but I don't seem to have any broken spokes either, so that's cool. Sweet. Nice. Okay, cool. Now to the front brake. Okay. If I remember correctly, the front one's going to be fairly easy too. Yeah, the inside pad's hitting the disc just about, but the outside pad is kind of worn out, so it'll be just a simple cable adjustment. I'll tilt you back up. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I also set my camera to narrow. The last few maintenance videos I've done, I've had it on wide for some stupid reason, and it made it seem like it was way too close to what I was doing. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Okay. Right now. Shit, popped out again. That's good right there. I'll still probably have to do a little bit of handlebar adjustment at the knobs on the handlebars, which is fine because, like I said, since the inside pads are pretty much touching the discs, well, the rear one I know for a fact is touching the disc. Adjusting it at the handlebar is fine, because when you adjust it at the handlebar, it moves the outside pad inward, and as long as the disc is close to the inside pad, then it's not going to bend the disc from adjusting it from the outside and not the inside, if that makes any sense. Because what happens is, if the inside pad wears out too much, and then you adjust the handlebar adjustment to put the outside pad closer to the outside of the disc, it'll push in on the disc and then push it into the inside disc pad, and it'll start to warp the disc, because it'll start bending it, which is something you don't want to happen. Especially if you're braking a lot and it's heating up from braking and you're bending it. That'll permanently, when it cools off, it'll be nice and bent. So anyway, I think that's all I had to do. I just wanted to do something else real quick. Uh-oh. Okay. Just wanted to make sure this thing was actually on all the way, because that's release. I'm sorry, I don't have the camera aimed at my frame right now. I'm fiddling with the key for the frame battery, because I'm starting to wonder if it's been turned off this whole time, because it seems like my front batteries are draining really fast, even if they're kind of old, which this little shark style one way down here, that one, if you can see it, it's 3 or 4 years old, and it's been used a lot, and the frame battery's only been used for about a year and a half, so it shouldn't be draining that fast, because between both of them, it's one's 9.6 and one's 10.4, so it's giving me 20 amp hours of capacity in parallel. So even if they're worn down 10%, I'd still be getting what's that? 19 amp hours? No. 18 amp hours? Which is actually more capacity than the rear, so it shouldn't be wearing down that fast. Between both motors, and splitting the load between both motors, it shouldn't be running voltage. The voltage sag shouldn't be as much as it seems to be happening, basically. Anyways, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video, because that's all I was doing was the brakes and to see if I had any broken spokes, and I don't have any. So thank you very much for reviewing my maintenance video. It was super easy, and hope somebody learned something. Remember to have a wonderful whatever wherever you are, and I'm probably going to take a ride in a little while. Okay, bye.